Hi, boys and girls. Remember the song we've been singing about the 5 little speckled frogs? Wouldn't it be fun to act that out with your very own puppet? I think we'll make puppets today. That should be fun. So what you've got in your kit is a red paper. You should have a white paper that's much thicker. I cut that out of a paper plate. So that one's all set for you. And then you will have this half of a frog paper. If you open it up, it's only on one side. And that's because you are supposed to keep it closed, just like this. Okay? So the side that opens, that's fine, but you're going to do not cut on this line. All right? Let me grab my toolkit and get my scissors out. I want to show you how to do this. Don't start cutting until you hear some directions, okay? When I cut something that I'm cutting one of, and I don't want to cut it in half, I always hold on to that folded part. See, thumbs up, remember the directions? And then I'm just going to cut in here. I'm going to start on the fold and cut in. Now, when something is the same on both sides, we say it is symmetrical. Like these scissors. Oh, they're not though, are they? If I go down the middle of these scissors, one side is wider than the other. They are not symmetrical. Let's look at our little frog here. Okay, a frog is symmetrical because if you have an imaginary line right down the middle, this side will be the same as this side. My eraser is symmetrical. If you have an imaginary line right down the middle, this side will be the same as that. Well, this frog is going to be that way too. We're only cutting out what looks like half of it. Sometimes I just cut right to the end. But when we open it up and unfold it, you will be able to see that the frog is symmetrical, the same on both sides. We've talked about that big long word occasionally. All right, see, I am cutting. I'm trying really hard to stay on those lines. And you know, if it's hard, that's okay. And it's okay to take a break. But please, the reason we're doing this is for you to cut it out. If you don't cut it out, you won't have a puppet. Don't ask Mom and Dad to do it for you, okay? Mom and Dad, this is one that, given some time, they at this point should be able to do this independently. And I would encourage that because that's part of the reason we're doing it, for the fine motor skills and for retelling a story. Now, I cut it out, and I did not cut on that middle part, so look at this. When I open it, I have a puppet. Well, not yet, but I will. I have a frog that is the same on both sides. It is symmetrical. The next thing you're going to do is cut out your circle. Is a circle symmetrical? Well, I didn't fold this one yet. See how I'm cutting on the sides? Again, boys and girls, if you go carefully, you should be able to do this. All right? If it takes you a little longer, take a break. But don't ask anyone to do it for you, because I'll tell you a secret. There is something about doing something for yourself that feels so good when you're done. So now you have a white circle that I cut out. You have a frog, and you have a red circle. You can pause the video, go get all of that ready, and when you're ready, come on back, and I'll show you how we're going to put this together. Okay? Okay, let's see if we're ready. You have your red circle? Do you have your white circle? And do you have your symmetrical frog? You do. All right, so you're going to take the red circle and you are going to glue it in the center. Try to get it so that there's a nice ring around it. I'm going to take my glue stick and I will put the glue on the red circle. If you put it on the white circle, you may have glue that sticks out. Oh. So, here's my glue stick. And I would be doing it right on the table, but I want you to see that I'm getting it all around the edges. And then I'm going to decide where the center is. Ooh, is that the center? Not really. You want to push it down so that it's right there in the middle. Okay. Now, that part, all of this so far, if you had enough time, you should be able to do on your own. What we're going to try to do, I'm going to push it down really hard so it's really getting good and stuck. Then what we're going to do is we are going to fold it in half. If you need an adult to do this, it's okay. Try a little yourself, but if you get stuck, these next two parts you might need an adult for. See how it opens? This is going to be the frog's mouth. This is another part, moms and dads, you may have to help with. I am taking this, and I want the mouth to stay open, and I want there to be a pocket in here. Now, if you were with me, I would take a stapler and staple it around the edges. So if moms or dads have a stapler at home, they could do this for you. If you don't, let mom or dad help you with gluing the edge and letting it sit for a while so it stays good and stuck. It's very, very important. Now, our little frog here is missing a few things. He does not look like a speckled frog yet. So I'm getting out my crayons, and I want this one to be kind of authentic. That means kind of real looking. So frogs have their eyes on the top of their head so that when they rise to the top of the pond, they will still be able to see even if their bodies are underwater. So I'm going to take my black crayon and I'm going to make two eyes. I am choosing to make mine oval. You might choose a different shape. And I'm choosing to make them the same on either side of the line. That one looks a little bigger and I can't make it smaller, so I'm going to make my second one a little bigger. And I'm kind of happy with that. They won't be exactly the same. Now, they don't need a mouth because it's here. And he doesn't need a nose, but he does need a tongue. Let me show you how we're going to do that. In your kit, I gave you a paper-clipped pile of construction paper. We're going to use these for different activities. What I want you to do is make a narrow, wide, narrow. Just cut straight up the side best you can. Now, if you try this and you get it cut too short, you could ask someone to help. But try first, because this is the piece you want. This we're going to put back and save it for another project. So here we go. This is going to be our frog's tongue. I'm going to take a crayon. You could take a pencil, whatever you want, and I'm going to wrap it around it like this. Just keep wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping and wrapping. And I'm going to hold it because I want it to keep this coiled up shape. And when I take it off, see how that almost looks like it could be a frog's tongue, doesn't it? And then right here, inside his mouth, I will put some glue on the back of the tongue. Not much of it, because I want that tongue to be free. Now see how it's coming uncoiled? I could reel it up again if I want, wind it up again. So look at that. There's his little tongue coming out so he can catch some flies. Now, the other thing about him that I'm not really happy with is the song said he was a speckled frog. What do you think speckled means? It means it's got some specks on it. See how I'm making some little speckled dots? I'm doing it with green because I just thought maybe he's already green. I'll make him some more dots. And then, when you're ready, you can do the song yourself. You know what? Bring your puppet to class tomorrow on Wednesday, and we'll do it together. You ready? 5 little speckled frogs sat on a rolling log, eating some most delicious bugs. Yum, yum. One jumped into the pool where it was nice and cool. Then there were 4 green speckled frogs. Glub, glub. Have fun. See if you can sing the song. Maybe you can think of some math that would go with it. Bring it to meeting on Wednesday, and we'll do some fun things together. Bye, boys and girls.